I think it came down to I wanted to work to live and not live to work. I feel like I get like, honestly, quote Hannah Montana, best of both worlds.
Yes.
I get my corporate baddie in the day and the freedom to really enjoy time with my friends and family and build the community I want to have outside of work and still have time for makeup and dance and music and all of the things.
Genuinely are Hannah Montana. Also, Taylor went to the original Hannah Montana. This is just a tidbit. She went to the original Hannah Montana tour.
Yes.
Hello and welcome to When Are You Free? I am your host, Aaliyah Joyce, and I am so excited that you have decided to join me on this corner of the internet today. You guys, today is a very special episode. And what makes it so special is it's our first guest on the podcast, the first guest on When Are You Free? And y'all, I wish that I could explain in words how fantastic this individual that we're about to hear from is. And my words just won't do it justice. So a little synopsis on who this guest is. This person has over 20,000 followers across social media platforms. They are a fantastic businesswoman, a social media mogul, if you will, a songwriter, a dancer, a makeup artist, and so many things, including one of my dearest friends. Please welcome to the podcast, Taylor Crossland.
Oh my gosh, I am so honored to be here. Hi, everybody. I'm so honored to be the first guest and just so excited to be part of When Are You Free? Longtime fan, longtime listener. So
you guys, I'm sorry, I'm fangirling.
I literally feel like the coolest person. What is happening?
You guys, it's kind of funny. I hang out with Taylor a lot of the time, and every time I hang out with her, I feel like I'm hanging out with a celebrity.
Stop.
She has been my girl crush, honestly, for over a year now. I think that's when we met. We met in like February of last year.
Yes.
And I feel like, oh my gosh, this girl's so hot. She's so beautiful.
What is happening right now?
I didn't know how to like be like cool around her. And so like I've just had a crush on her ever since.
Dead. That's the best thing I've ever heard. So and the girl crush is definitely mutual. So yes, I just am obsessed with everything you're doing. Like, so I mean, starting this podcast, like it has blown up like with season 2, and I'm just so excited to be a part of it. So
thank you. And I don't like to beat around the bush. I kind of like want to go ahead and dive straight into it. Taylor has so many things that she does, so many things that we could talk about, but I just want to start, if you just kind of want to introduce yourself to everyone, tell them, I kind of said what you do, but maybe just dive a little deeper into what you do, who you are.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hi everyone. I'm Taylor Crossland. I was born and raised in Rogers, Arkansas, and then came up to Nashville to study music and music business at Belmont University here in Nashville. Just kind of fell in love with the town and have been here ever since. I originally came up here to be a songwriter and artist, had a little bit of a career with that. And now, full-time, I am a commercial real estate investment manager, and I have, Lord knows how many side hustles now. It's kind of gotten insane, but I influence part-time on TikTok as a makeup artist. I do some wedding makeup, some photo shoot makeup, a personal trainer on the side. So write custom workout routines and meal plans for people, and then dancer, and then still songwriter, singer. So here we are. Casual.
What do you guys do? I'm just
I have so much free time. What do you do? What do you do with your free time?
You guys, it was a blessing that I could even get her for this hour. Like that we're here. Like you have no idea. Like I'm so appreciative. Thank you for taking your time for a peasant like me.
Oh my gosh, thank you for asking me. I've been looking forward to this for so long. So
yeah. Okay. So a woman of many talents, a woman who does so many things. So I want to just talk about because you talk about how you started off at Belmont. Can you tell us? I know that you said you wanted to be a singer-songwriter, but what made you choose? I want to be in Nashville. I want to be at Belmont.
Yeah, that's such a great question. I had toured a lot of different schools. I knew looking into colleges, I wanted to pursue music. I knew that was my dream. But when looking at all of these schools, there was just something about the Nashville culture. Something about when I came to Nashville, there was less toxicity. There was less, I feel like the minute I landed in LA to like tour schools, it was what can you do for me? What are you capable of? And how can I use that to my advantage? And I felt like when I came to Nashville, it was more so, how are you? Who are you? And so I wanted to pursue music, but I also wanted to be in an environment that supported who I am through music instead of who people wanted me to be. That, and also just Belmont really focused more so on like commercial music, so radio, recording, and I knew at the time, I was like, I'm not pursuing Broadway. I'm not pursuing like musical theater. I'm not pursuing opera or like classical music. And this just felt like the best fit. I was like, here I'm going to learn, how to hone in on my songwriting, how to be a better performer, but then also how to record my own music. So that was what was really exciting to me, getting like actual studio time and my professors being people who had been in the industry for so long.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so fantastic. So it sounds like for you, the biggest draw was that community, like people that were going to pour into you and to pour into your craft. So when you're there, how do you decide, like, what's the process? Like, okay, we get to Belmont, and I'm not a music person, you guys. I don't know anything about it. Taylor's like obviously professional. So so how do you decide, like, what the majors, the minors, like, because you're big on songwriting, but you also do production. You do all kinds of things. How do you decide this is what I'm going to specialize in and what I'm going to pursue? Yeah,
so I ended up I got my degree in music business with an emphasis in music production, but also had other opportunities at Belmont to perform. I originally thought I was going to go in as a performance or like commercial voice major, so like exclusively focusing on the almost like, the dream was to be a pop star. So like the performance part. But I felt like I had so many opportunities at Belmont to do other things. So I originally went in as that major and then switched to music business because I really thought of college as like, this is my time to learn what I don't know. And I feel comfy with like my performance, and sure, there are ways like I want to grow and like get better, but I truly know nothing about how the music industry works, how to represent myself, how to record songs, what it's like to be in a studio. And so I thought, like, in the long term, I was like, this is the path that's going to set me up for the most success outside of school, with or without a label. So if I, could sign with a label and have that opportunity, I would know how it works when people are trying to take advantage, when people aren't, when people are really in it for the art versus when they're just looking for kind of a spokesperson for their own music and what they're trying to push with their own agenda. But then I was like, but now, if I take this path, I could release my own music. I can record my own music. So no matter what happens, like, music is going to be a part of my life in the long term. So I think that's kind of what honed in what specialties I wanted to focus on. I was like, I know the least about these things, and this is my time to learn. So
yeah, I feel like you're so big, and this is just part of your personality. You're so big, like, you're very creative, but you mix it so well with the practical. You have to know both sides. It seems like and that's in any profession, I will say, is like it's good to have both, to have those, like, the soft skills and the creative skills, but it's like I have to know logistics. Yes. I have to know, like, is somebody taking advantage of me? Am I getting a bad deal? Am I getting a good deal? And I guess that leads into how you're, like, into business as well. But before we kind of get into your business brain, because I want to pick that as well, but I want to stick kind of in the creative realm for a second. Can you talk about what made you want to pursue this in the first place, like the musical influences in your life?
Yes. I think what made me fall in love with music in general was when I was going through really dark periods of my life where I felt like I had no one to relate to me. Music was the thing that made me feel like somebody out there was relating, was feeling the things I was feeling, and I was less alone. And I wanted to do that for other people. I'd always had a passion for performance and just music in general, but like that was really the why behind it, was I want, when people listen to this song, for it to let them know, like, you are not alone in this life. Like, the human experience is universal, and like we might not have the same circumstances, but like you're not alone in what you're going through and what you're feeling. But I would say my biggest musical influences in who I really aspire to be like It's so hard because I am definitely one of those people that like does not like, I go into every genre. I listen to every genre of music. I have an appreciation for all music. But I would say when it comes to songwriting, some of my influences, I'm a big Swiftie. I love the way that Taylor approaches her songs like poetry and really pushes the boundaries of like creativity of like, yeah, I'm going to throw in those big dictionary words and like I'm going to, I don't know, almost the way she writes is art. Mm-hmm. And so I really have taken a lot of inspiration from that. I think vocally my biggest inspirations, I'm a bit of a old soul. I love some like Nina Simone, Aretha Franklin, those soulful vibes. I guess like a more modern example would be like Adele, probably the closest thing, maybe Alicia Keys. But I just really love those like soulful big vocals, you know what I mean? It's my favorite thing. So and then outside of that, like just bands in general or people I tend to listen to a lot. I listen to a lot of like Need to Breathe. Actually, I listen to a lot of gospel music. Yeah. I think that I don't know, the connection that you feel when listening to gospel music, I think gives me a lot of inspiration for when I write my own songs. I'm like, I want you to feel it, not just hear it, you know? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I genuinely, and we'll talk about this later, cannot wait for you guys just to hear more of Taylor's music, just from her, not just from a songwriting level, but also just vocally. You can really hear that in her voice. Is just, it tells a story. There's texture in her voice. There's something behind it. It's not just she's not just singing the melody. There's harmonies and there's layers to it. I just love it so much. And you can tell that you have an appreciation for a wide genre of music because it shows in how you use your voice. So I'm very so excited for you guys to hear Taylor's music from just from the horse's mouth herself. Yeah, it's so good. So fantastic. Musical influences so prevalent. Now, can you tell us again? You have so much experience just in songwriting in general, but can you tell us kind of like the proudest moment that you've had in your musical career?
Yeah, to give you a little bit of backstory, I guess, to the followers, I had the opportunity to ghostwrite for a lot of artists and work with a lot of professional songwriters. Had some songs hit the radio, had more experience in like the business side of things, the publishing side of things, the writing side of things. But it is really hard. I think about, I'm not sure there's one moment or one song that I'm most proud of, but I will say all of the proudest moments I've ever had in music have to do with how it touched someone else. And I think there's just no real way to explain how it feels when somebody comes up to you and is like, your song gave me hope or gave me inspiration to keep going or changed my life, or how it feels when an entire room of people are screaming your lyrics to your life experience. Like, it's just, it's magical. It's euphoric. But I think those are all of my favorites are when I've realized like how much it touched other people. And it's funny to think about because like I just said, I got into music being like, I want to make people feel less alone. And then by other people singing my music or hearing the reactions of how my music touched other people, it in turn helped me feel less alone. And so it's just, I love the way that music can touch a soul and like change someone and give them maybe a little bit more purpose than they had before.
Mm-hmm. No, that's so good. I feel like that's also just a common theme in how you approach anything that you do with social media, with makeup, which I think we want to kind of touch on next, but is all about the impact that you can make on the individual. Yeah. A big thing with Taylor, you guys, is that she is a person that she has so many creative pursuits and just fantastic, just business pursuits in general. But I think that her end goal is always to have an impact on a person and leave whoever she's like who's ever listening, whoever is watching, she wants you to leave better than like when you came. Yeah. And so she's like that in real life, and she's like that in every single pursuit that she does. So I guess like the next thing I kind of want to touch on, because we only have so much time. This woman does 20,000 things, so we gotta keep it moving. But I want to touch on the makeup as well, because I feel like this is a good transition. We're still kind of like in the creative, but you have a huge following on TikTok. does fantastic, the most insane makeup looks I've ever seen in my life. Like
Thank you, queen.
She knows how to do a range. She did like a soft glam look for me for my photo shoot for this podcast, and it turned out amazing. Like I was just walking around town after, and 20 different people stopped me and was like, "Hey, who did your makeup?" I was like, "Taylor Crossland." Taylor Crossland.
Not the name drop.
Because it's that good. She can do soft glam, but she can also do like costume makeup and like from both ranges. So can you tell me how you got started in that?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of just happened. I had always been an artsy kid. I loved to paint and draw. And then, you know, as I got older, probably around like middle school, high school, when I was actually like starting to wear makeup and use makeup, I think, you know, the world and society and our culture preach to women, you need makeup to be beautiful. You need makeup before you can leave the house. You have to be your most prepped and primed self. And so when I started playing with makeup, I wanted to keep that childlike kind of mindset with it. Like, you know, when you get like a toy makeup palette, like as a kid, and it's not actual makeup, it can't do anything, but like I wanted it to feel fun. I wanted it to feel therapeutic, and I wanted it to feel artistic. And so I started like pushing the boundaries of like, I'm not going to change my face, but rather I'm going to make like my makeup like an outfit reflect who I am, and reflect like, you know, that I'm doing this for my own enjoyment, but it is not necessary. Like you know me, we hang out all the time, and I'm probably in makeup, 50% of the time. Like I truly can leave the house without it and feel the need to not wear it, but I do it because I enjoy it. And I think that there's a confidence and a power when you get to sit down and do something artistic for yourself on the daily, but also just not necessarily change your face, but highlight your own beauty and remind yourself that like we are each beautiful in our own individual way, you know?
So like, sorry, I'm just like getting chills because of the way that you talk about it. Anyways,
and I think that's what I want to do though, like through my TikTok, is like, I just want people to see like makeup is fun.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be fun. And like, you don't need it, but if you want to wear it, like rock any look you want, put some rhinestones on your face, do you know, like
yes.
Be your most authentic self, and don't let anybody make you feel dumb about it.
How do you feel about the impact that you've made on like the women that have been your clients throughout the years? I know that you've done you've done photo shoots and different weddings, all kinds of events. And like, what have been like some cool moments that you've had with that?
What a good question. That literally just took me back. Like I just had a flash of like a moment. I did a wedding for actually my best friend from college. And she actually married my guy best friend from college. So it was just, the day was already incredible and insane. And, but I got to do her makeup and her bridal party's makeup. And while I was working with her and then each of her friends, it's one of those things I don't know how to describe about when I step back and they see their own reflection, and like it's almost like they're noticing they're beautiful for the first time. Yeah. And they don't, like I said, I really am big on, I'm not going to change your bone structure. I'm not going to heavy contour you to look like a Kardashian. I'm going to do your makeup to suit you, to suit your face and the features that God has given you. And there's just, it makes me almost want to cry, like thinking about it. But like, there are so many women who just don't know their own beauty. And I think, you know, that has a lot to do with culture and messaging and insecurity and all of those things. But it's just it's a beautiful moment to get to see someone like exude confidence for the first time, and to see that they really are beautiful just the way they are, you know. Or to you know, like in my friend's sake, like she was just like, that was the biggest day of her life, and she wanted me to do that for her, and she felt beautiful as she should, like her most beautiful self. And so it was just, it's something I'll treasure forever that I got to be a part of that. So
No, that is amazing. And I felt the very similar when you just did my makeup for the photo shoot for this podcast. Is she, the way that she even talks like to you while you're doing it is like she's building you up in the moment as she's putting on all of the makeup as well. And I feel like she's like complimenting your facial structure and all of these other kinds of things. It's just very like a fantastic experience. And I'm sure that you give that to every single client, and making them feel comfortable in their own features, in their own look. Because if you guys follow Taylor on TikTok, you can see she's very talented. So she can do like, if you want like a very like out there editorial or like costumey makeup, totally available, but then also just the everyday little enhancers that just take you up a notch. You can do that too. Can you tell us about the creation of one of your favorite looks?
Yeah. I feel like there's two that come to mind. Just because, like you said, there are so many different say genres of makeup. There's editorial, there's special effects, there's glam, there's like now even this like clean girl aesthetic that is more in today. But I would say, I mean, my favorite has to go to like the special effects and the creative, like my whole face is rhinestoned. I love to like really commit to the bit. I love to just be like that wow moment at the end. Like, wow, I really like just put a piece of art on my face. So the one I'm thinking of is probably, I did a Corpse Bride recreation look a couple of years ago for Halloween. And I put on like the wig and I did all the special effects and everything. But that look was like one of the first that really challenged me to be like, okay, my cheeks are definitely not shaped the same as this cartoon character. So like, how am I going to change that? And like, how am I going to fully paint all of my body? And like, but there are pictures of it up, I think, on my old makeup Instagram, and it doesn't even look like me, but like in a good way. Like, cause it's not supposed to look like me. It's supposed to look like Emily, I think is the character from Corpse Bride that I recreated. And then I've been really digging, honestly, ever since Euphoria came out and hit the internet and HBO Max, the bedazzled eye looks are just everywhere, and I love it. I love a little sparkle.
Is that when you like went viral? I feel like that.
Yes, that is when I went viral.
That must have been. I was like, because I remember those looks are stamped in my mind.
Oh yeah, like the tears of glitter, and like that was exactly the trend. I think that blew up my TikTok was I did a Euphoria makeup look where I rhinestoned basically across my entire face, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing ever. But you know, you put those like purple lights on it and the Euphoria filter, and you're like, oh my gosh, like this is everything. It's giving everything.
Yes, that ate in those times. I probably didn't even know you and saw it and like liked the video. Yeah. I was like, oh, this is so cool. No, okay. Ooh, I have to have your opinion. I have to have your opinion on this while we're talking about this. Tell us, this is so out of left field, but tell us your opinion on the Euphoria season. What is this, season 3, season 4, 20 years later?
Oh my God, y'all. Okay, I swear they wrapped up the last season and I literally had it on my calendar 2024, like the next season was going to be out, like, and that was a 2-year wait, I think, or what was it?
Yes, it was crazy.
It was crazy. And so I was like, but you know what, what I really love about Euphoria is that it really felt like the show in our generation that gave highlight to makeup as its own art. Like each character's makeup was unique and different and colorful and aesthetic, but represented them as like in their personalities. And so I loved seeing every outfit matched the makeup look, matched the person's character. Like it was so fun to watch. But yeah, personal opinion, where is the new season? What is going on? I'm actually upset about it because at this point I've probably created like 3 years of audition tapes on TikTok for like put me in Euphoria. I've bedazzled every part of my body. Like where is it? What happens? You left us on a cliffhanger and I'm upset about
Euphoria. Hire her. It's not too late.
It's not too late. We know we're going to
be waiting another 3 years for the next one. Like
I will do your season, like I will do all of your character makeup. Evidently Kat's not in it anymore.
Yeah, she's
gone.
That
right?
She's gone.
Barbie? What is that?
She's gone. Barbie Fierro, or however you say her name. She's gone.
But I will say that show is probably what made my celebrity crush who it is today, which is Zendaya. So
the way that
and this is funny because she knows like I like men, and like that's, I mean, I'm a big Zac Efron, Michael B. Jordan type of girl, but Zendaya above all. Above all.
Speak on it.
I just model, actress, goddess, queen, personality on 10. Like singer, dancer, talk about multifaceted women. Yes. Like that, she's like the goal.
The way that y'all were waiting for her to say Jacob Elordi and she said, psych. She said, no, Zendaya, no.
It's Zendaya for me. I'm sorry. The Euphoria changed everything.
Be serious. I love you.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways, okay. I didn't mean to skip over this question, but this could be like a 2 for 1.
Yeah.
So can you just give, we'll just do one part and then another. So there are a lot of people that do want to pursue, honestly, just these two things alone that you just mentioned. There are a lot of people that I'm like, oh, so many people move to Nashville and they're like, I want to be a songwriter. I want to be a singer. I want to do this. What advice do you have for them?
I think, okay, this is going to sound so silly, but I have two pieces of advice and I'll kind of elaborate after I say it. But first, start. Second, put it out there. I think, and what I mean by start is you will always come up with a reason to not sit down and write a song or not sit down and practice a makeup look or convince yourself that you're not qualified or that come up with some reason not to do it. And I think you just have to sit down and you have to start. And then the second part, you and I have talked about this so much. I'm such a big endorser of don't gatekeep your content. Like, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's not meant to be perfect. Let people grow with you. Let it be cringe. I don't care if it's not your best song, if it's not your best makeup look. Do you know how many like horrendous pictures there are on the internet of my eyebrows before I knew how to do them? Like please don't put up a picture now because it's truly bad. We'll let the real fans go in and find them.
The eyebrow blindness, the blush blindness that we all have had.
Yes, it's like the 2016 makeup era was real. But there are so many, and now, I look back at those and I put them all out there. I put them all on TikTok, and I think that people grew with me, and I think that's more relatable. I think what we really look for, I think the world has it twisted right now. I think that people think we want and need influencers because they have this perfect life and we want the perfect life like them, when in actuality, I am the most influenced by people who I relate to and who are human and authentic and genuine. And so also just think about it this way, like your songs, like professional songwriters sit down and write 500 songs before they write a hit. Like songwriting and makeup are just as much a talent as they are a skill. And you can sit down and you can practice them and you can get better and put them out there. Like it doesn't songs and makeup looks have that feeling of like, it's never perfect, it's never finished. But like, it's an injustice to not let people hear your story and hear your heart when it could really shape somebody. It could really, and we all are cringe. We all have human moments where we mess up, or, not every song is going to be your best, but just allow it to be what it is and like keep trying, and you will get better. You will, start to hone in on your craft and what processes work for you. Like even for me in my makeup routine, I start with the eyes, and a lot of people are like, why don't you start with the skin? Or in my songwriting process, I really like to start with the choruses instead of the verses. Like find what works for you, but you're not going to find what works for you unless you're actually practicing it. So discipline yourself, even if it's uncomfortable, finish the song. Finish the makeup look, try the makeup look, attempt it. Don't wipe it off and then be like, I failed. And then put it out there and share with people that like this is something you're pursuing, and like let that be your kind of like motivation and inspiration to like keep going, to be like almost like the internet or people are keeping me accountable to like this is something I've now putting my time towards. So like watch me grow, watch me get better.
I think that is such amazing advice in this day and age, because exactly how you said, we feel the need to be so perfect because of social media. It's like, I have to come out and be a professional on day one. Everyone feels that pressure.
Yeah.
And you're 100% right. Nobody's ever you will actually never reach that level because you are not allowing yourself to. You're not allowing yourself to try.
And what a disservice to you and to the people who would have related to your content to be like, I've put in so much work, but because it'll never be perfect, because nothing ever is, like, I never put myself out there, or I never let people hear, my heart in my art, or see my passions. Like, we got one life, like, and I really like to think about like, if the biggest problem the internet, like if the internet is going to come after me for something that I accidentally said or a makeup look they didn't like or whatever, like that's more of a waste of your time than mine. Like that says more of a reflection on you than it does on me. Like, but I really don't think I'm all that important. So like they're going to forget about that the next day. You know what I mean? Like it's really not that big of a deal. I think cancel culture has like instilled fear in us. And in actuality, I don't believe in cancel culture. I believe that everybody deserves a chance to to take accountability for their actions and to improve and to grow. And so put it out there. I don't care if you get canceled. Like that's not even a thing anymore. Like you can adjust and you can keep going.
Yes. You will get canceled for breathing the wrong way. I swear. I swear.
I mean, how those men be coming after you in the comments.
Y'all, I swear I posted like one podcast clip and these alpha males on the internet found my content and just were ripping me a new one. I had to block a lot of people, and you're not going to do that on my page. I'm going to tell you that right now. Like on my social media, on my phone that I pay my Wi-Fi for, you ain't going to cancel me. I'll cancel you. I can't do it. Period. We'll come back to the creative because, again, woman of many talents, but I want to do like a little bit of a switch now to talk about you as a businesswoman. So you start off in music, start your career in songwriting, production, a lot of cool things, doing makeup as well, but you also are in commercial real estate.
Yeah.
And so can you tell us where did that shift even come from?
Yes. I think the shift came from, like, we've kind of touched on, like, a lot of what I do is definitely like heart. Like it starts from like my heart, and I want to be the most authentic and true version of myself no matter what I'm doing. And I think the switch really came, it was 2020. So what a year. Am I right? But I was working 24/7. And I had all of these other passions outside of my job, but I, at the time, really only had time to be working 24/7. And I was in the publishing side of music. And so in the pandemic, when everything shut down, it was kind of the first opportunity I had to really sit with myself. And the thought kind of dawned on me, what if well, let me start by saying I started having some qualms with my own songwriting experience because of my business experience in the music industry. So when I was sitting down to write, I all of a sudden was asking myself things that I had never been asked, like I had never asked before, with like, how streamable would this be? Or like, who's writing an album right now that would want to put this on their album? Or could this be a TikTok trend? Like, and that's not where I want to write from. I want to write from my own life experience and the things that I'm going through. And I really take a lot of time to think about like, what is the message I'm putting out there and what is it that I want to say? And I was like, but these songs I'm writing aren't saying anything because all I'm thinking about is how much money is this going to make? How streamable, how marketable is it? And so, during the pandemic, everything shut down. And so it gave me a little time to pause. And I thought, is this the job that is going to give me time outside of work to pursue all of my other passions? Or is like being in this industry right now taking away the joy and the love that I have for songwriting? And so I think that was like the final straw for me. It was nothing bad about like the industry or the place I was working. It was just that personally working in the business side, music was becoming business. And for me, music is more heart and life. And so I wanted to step away from that full time and start making the life I wanted to outside of my job. I tell this to everybody when they ask me, like, that's such a random switch. Like, what's going on? I was like, well, I think it came down to I wanted to work to live and not live to work. And so I wanted to focus more so on, I loved my job, but I had no social life. I had no other hobbies. I had no time to, like even go home and like cook for myself or have a consistent gym schedule or like all of those things. And so I was like, what is it really that I want my day-to-day life to look like? And so I started looking for other careers and just happened to have a lot of connections with commercial real estate. And so I started, I didn't start investment managing. I started at like an entry level position, but just ended up having a knack for it and have been doing it ever since. So, and it does give me that like freedom and flexibility. I feel like I get like, honestly, quote Hannah Montana, best of both worlds.
Yes.
I get my corporate baddie in the day and the freedom to really enjoy time with my friends and family and build the community I want to have outside of work and still have time for makeup and dance and music and all of the things. So
yeah, I think that perfectly, how you even just said that, just embodies the way that you live your life. You genuinely are Hannah Montana. Also, I'm very jealous of Taylor because Taylor went to the original Hannah Montana. This is just a tidbit. She went to the original Hannah Montana tour.
Yes, that was my first concert. I was 7 in the nosebleeds, but Hannah Montana Best of Both Worlds tour opener, the Joe Bros, elite experience. It probably shaped who I am today. I'm dead serious.
No.
I'm dead serious. I was 7, saw that Hannah Montana concert and said pop star.
Yes. That's what we're doing.
Yes.
And you really are like, it's so crazy. The real estate manager by day, because you are a boss woman. And it's like, she's doing all of this by day, dancing by night, songwriting, doing all the things, the makeup, the hair. It's genuinely, I think that you manifested that from 7 years old.
Thank you.
Manifested
I mean, it was a long time coming. We definitely had some severe glow ups along the way, and we really had to learn some lessons. But I will say I'm very happy with my life right now, and how hard I've worked to get here in every aspect, in work, in social aspects, in goal aspects and fitness aspects. Like I'm really happy with where I'm at right now. So
I'm gonna ask a really dumb question. This is so funny. I think this is such an adult thing where you have friends and it's like your friend is an engineer, your friend works in real estate, your friend is like in sales, and it's like, I don't really know what you do. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't like, what do you do every day? Like one of my friends is a doctor. I'm like, even though she's a doctor, I'm like, what are you doing?
Yes.
On these charts that you're writing and stuff. It's just, what do you do? So could you just tell us, what is commercial real estate even?
Yes,
what do you do?
That is such a good question. Okay, so when you think real estate, you're probably thinking like the buying and selling of houses, right? So commercial real estate is the buying and selling of large corporates, mostly corporate buildings. So that can look like boutique hotels, industrial warehouse, Amazon warehouses, office spaces, apartment buildings, anything on that kind of larger scale. So kind of just take the stakes of regular real estate and kind of like turn them up like 10 notches. And then there's a lot more, I would say, like red tape when it comes to commercial buildings, because there's a lot more focus that goes into like zoning and land use building codes and tenants and leases of like of a retail, from a retail standpoint instead of a living standpoint. Leasing somebody to buy a home, and just it looks a lot different than leasing somebody for a business space. So, but yeah, that's kind of the gist. Is like, I think real estate, but just like really big buildings.
Yes. So same thing. Just a couple zeros or 6 more added. Or
a lot more pressure, a lot more high stakes. But like, hey, we're having a good time.
She ain't sweating nothing. She ain't sweating nothing, y'all.
I wouldn't say that. She said she's very much sweating everything.
Cool and calm under pressure, though, regardless.
Okay, I can agree to that.
Yes.
I can agree to that.
So speaking of, can you tell us how doing all of that, because you guys, Taylor's running things up in there. I mean, in my personal opinion, that's what it looks like from my perspective. So can you tell us, because you're managing people, so how, I feel like you have like this one side of your career where you're tapping into, to me, it seems like completely different skill sets. How can you tap into manager mode and organizational mode and like really like it gives CEO? I'm like, how is she doing this? Like what facets of yourself are you tapping into to do this job?
Yes. Okay. So I think stepping into a managerial role, it brings out a different part of me, but in the best way. So like when I'm in the corporate environment, I notice like I become more assertive and more decisive. And I think you could probably speak to this as well, being a woman who works in corporate. I think there's just this unsaid pressure to keep quiet and keep to your own work and like not make your voice and opinions like louder than they need to be. And I think that the corporate version of myself is a version of myself that's more grounded in leadership and responsibility, and I'm less apologetic about saying what I need and what I need to get done in a clear, communicative way, if that makes sense. I think I've learned like being assertive doesn't mean being harsh. It just means being clear and direct and respectful of both my team and my team's time. So I don't know. I feel like I really do like, I lock into boss mode in the morning, but like being in corporate has just really taught me how to be unapologetically assertive. You know what I mean?
As a woman, especially.
As a woman and I work with mainly men. So, and this really taught me to have, you know, like, more confidence in my own voice and in my own opinions and in my own decisions. You know, I'm quicker to make decisions in corporate mode, and I don't ever regret the decisions that I make. I you know, once they're made, we move on, like, no matter what happens. So
yeah, you're just I stand on that.
Yes.
Period.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure there's necessarily like a routine that I have to like get into that mode. I think it really just comes with, again, like practice. Like, the more you do it, the easier it's going to feel. But I really like the version, of myself that I am in corporate mode. It feels authentic to me, just more direct. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I love that. I love how it's like you're stepping into executive function on overdrive, where I'm so clear in my decisions and what I do. Okay. So we're doing that. I think that it must be hard though, because again, how you just mentioned, you're like, oh, I'm in a male dominated field. And so I think sometimes what we see with women in these spaces is that it's hard to see a woman that can do both, because you're a woman that's very fashionable. You always dress so well. You also are a woman that dances and pursues so many things in creative fields as well. I think sometimes for other people, it doesn't matter if it's a man or woman, it's hard for people to accept that in a woman, like someone who can do a lot of different things and wear a lot of different hats. Why do you think that's difficult for people to accept?
This is such a great question, Aaliyah. I would say, I think it's hard for multifaceted women to be taken seriously because the world doesn't know how to digest somebody who is doing it all. I think that the messaging we get, like whether direct or not, is that we are supposed to be quiet and petite and pretty and stay in our lane and do one thing because people hate change. But I will say, society doesn't know, like for example, society doesn't know what to make of a woman who's a corporate, you know, like boss during the day and then is twerking at a dance class at night. Like, people don't know how to wrap their heads around it. But the world craves consistency and gets uncomfortable with change. But people are not meant to be just one thing. Like, rather who I am is shown through like how I do my job and in my passions. So like, don't let society tell you like what you can and can't do. Like, you get to define what you want to be. And like, who cares if it's easily digestible for somebody else or not? Like, if that's, I don't know. I feel like maybe the message is like, you have to pick one thing and stay true to that one thing. But why can't we be doing all of the things that we're passionate about, and all of them are like a true reflection of us? Like, we're complex beings. Like, we have complex personalities. We don't just like one thing or dislike one thing. And I think we need to be the generation that starts making that more socially acceptable, that like, not only do you get to be whatever you want to be in a sense of like, you get to choose your career, but like, you get to be who you are in anything you want to do, and you can do multiple things at the same time. That is an option. So
you're right. They don't know how to take it. I think that sometimes, especially as a woman in corporate, I feel like I've also experienced a very similar thing. It's just like, there was this one setting that I worked in, I would wear a lot of, you know, cute frilly dresses, little skirts, different things like that, and then you won't sometimes be taken seriously, sometimes by men, sometimes by other women as well, in a business setting. And it's, I have things to say, and I am competent, and I want you to listen to me, but it's like, I don't have to change who I am in order for me to get the job done, period.
Yes.
It's like, I'm going to do this with excellence, regardless of how people are going to perceive you. I'm still going to show up. I'm going to be in my cute little dress. I'm still going to twerk it at dance class.
Yes.
And these deliverables will be top notch.
Yes.
Regardless.
You give me a job and I'm going to do it 110%, like better than you thought it could be done.
Yeah.
So but I love that you even said that, because I did that for the longest time. Like, that was my little, I guess, like, step outside of the norm. Like, first thing I did in corporate was like, I'm not going to stop dressing how I want to dress. Like, I'm not saying I'm showing up to the office in club attire, but like, I'm going to wear the cute skirt. I'm going to wear the dress that makes me feel confident, that makes me feel most like myself. And that was kind of how I like started pushing the boundaries, to be like, and like this might not be professional to you, but like you're gonna have to take me professionally, because like once you see the work that I'm doing, like my clothes should be the least of the least of your worries, you know?
Yeah.
And I love that you also like had some experience with that, because I feel like that is kind of like the first step to be like, just because I wear the girly dress does not mean that I'm incompetent, you know?
I don't have to come in, and I love a power suit, but I don't
Same.
have to come in a power suit every single time.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And I'm still able to do my job.
Yes.
I'm just expressing myself. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I love that. So speaking of just being multifaceted in general, I think that you're my resident expert on this. How do you do it? Genuinely, like, how do you like, I don't even know, like, how do you do all of this?
Girl.
A lot of people are wondering. Girl,
I'm wondering. No, but seriously, I think it's, for me, because I don't want to speak for everyone. Everyone has has processes that work for them. But what really works for me is more finding a rhythm for each thing. So start with small, like manageable weekly goals that you, and by manageable, I mean something you can get done on your worst day, like, and you know is accomplishable. So if that's for you in a week, I know even on my worst, even if all of this week is crap, that I can get to the gym 3 times this week. Like, start with small goals you know are like so attainable. And then for me with all my things, like I look at my week and I'm like, I know I can give 1 night of filming to TikTok and makeup. I know I can go to at least 1 dance class. I know I can sit down and, whether or not I finish it, give an hour to a song. And so I mark off those times in my calendar. And, you know, it's a different story having the dedication to actually sit down and do those things. But once you start with like an easily manageable schedule, once that becomes like just your routine and that's become like normal to you now, you don't even have to think about it, then slowly add things. I think like we get flooded with messages, especially on social media and by influencers, to just like go 100% and change everything today and wake up tomorrow and do it all differently and just go for everything and just, but nobody can function like that. Nobody can do it all just like waking up one day and is like, I'm going to do it all today. That's not really how it works. So I think like it's more about finding a rhythm for each of the things and then really having the dedication to stick to that schedule for yourself. But you know, what works for you might not work for me. So, but find your rhythm. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just because you know what you need to hit. You know, like the priorities that are important to you. And you also know your energy levels and how much time you really have. It's like, you have to pick and choose. And like some days, how you're saying, it might be, I can hit more of this thing. But that mean, and some days it's like, okay, I only actually can go the 2 times. Maybe I can only go 2 times or something like that.
And I think too, work smarter, not harder. Mm-hmm. Like I have like we talked about, I have so many goals. I have so many goals in different areas. And then even outside of that, I have so many personal goals about like, I want to be intentional about spending time with my friends and visiting my family and spending time with my amazing boyfriend and all of these things. And it can be hard to manage it all. But like, who says like if one of my goals for the week is to go to a dance class and also one of my goals for the week is to spend time with one of my besties, who says you can't go to dance class with your bestie?
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, work smarter, not harder. Like, mm-hmm. You know, I don't have a ton of time to hang out with my boyfriend this week. What if instead of doing my normal makeup content, like we make makeup content together where he does my makeup, or like, you know, we make funny content, like 2 birds, 1 stone. Like, don't be afraid to like mix your schedules. Like it doesn't have to be set in stone. You write the rules, you know?
Okay, this gives me a good idea. Also, this is just a side note. You and Noah need to do like a makeup video together. That like, I would eat that up.
Okay, not to like, I'm gonna put a spoiler out there, but we are filming a TikTok. I don't know if it's going to be a series or just a singular TikTok. We'll see how much footage comes from this experience, but I'm going to lay out the makeup that I use on the daily and I'm going to say nothing and he's going to do the tutorial. So like he will know nothing about the products, about how to apply them, about which brushes to use. Honestly, RIP to my makeup brushes. And to my makeup products. RIP to my skin, actually. So, but I'm really excited because for those of you who don't know Noah, camera. He's probably the most confident person you'll ever meet in your life. And
he thinks he's Kanye West.
Yes, he really does. He is Ye. And so the confidence of him doing my makeup is going to be on 10. And then the actual, I'm so excited to see the finished result because I'm not even sure he knows what mascara is. So we're gonna be humbled, and I can't wait to show the internet what he comes up with. So it's gonna be fantastic. Keep an eye out for it.
Oh my God, I'm obsessed. Oh my gosh, we can't talk too much because Noah's gonna make this all about him. This is a Taylor Crossland episode. Let's not say too much.
I know we've already said he can't be a guest on the podcast because like Aaliyah wouldn't even need to be here. So
banned. Banned. I'm dead.
Although he is a huge fan of the podcast. So he does impersonations of you, and it's incredible.
You guys, I can't even talk about it. We have to nix it. No, like we
gotta move on. We gotta move on.
We can't talk about it too much. Okay, so it seems like you have such a good balance of being able to do it all. So and you're also just a person that is so much like a perfectionist. You do everything at a high level, anything that you do. I think that also sometimes a lot of us struggle with learning how to be content and then also pursue excellence at the same time. It's like a push and pull. How do you do that?
I mean, I'm not going to say that I've got it down pat. It is still a learning process that I am still currently learning how to do, but I will say I've come a long way, but I still really struggle with this. Because of that perfectionistic type A organized personality, it can be really hard for me to set the personal goals down and rest. But some things that have helped me, I have to remind myself that rest is productive and contentment is productive. And those things are getting me closer to contentment is getting me closer to my goals. Plus, if you don't make time for things that like make you content, like for me, like family, friends, taking a walk outside, like things that feed the soul, the grind will eventually catch up to you and it will get you to a place where you feel absolutely stuck in every area of your life. And so that is what I think motivates me the most is I've hit that wall so many times. And so now, even when it's uncomfortable to sit down and rest or to, set the goals down for an evening and really just like be present with my people, I have to remind myself that this is good for me. This is getting me closer to my goals because it's giving me what my soul needs to like be revived and like recharge my battery to get back to the goals better and healthier as opposed to if I wouldn't have taken that time. And so I try to either plan like an afternoon or an evening of intentional time with friends or for self-care a week. And then also my friends are the people who inspire me the most and are pushing me to, they don't push me. I am naturally my fullest version of myself around them. And they push me to grow and they push me to be better. And I feel like when I take the time to really like set everything down and genuinely give all of my attention and focus and presence to my friends, I come back to my goals more inspired than I was like when I left them. And that can be so exciting because like inspiring yourself is hard. Yeah. It's hard to motivate yourself. But when I come back with like new ideas or like, just your friends see a different angle of you and a different version, not a different version of you, but see you in a different way than you see yourself. And so I think that I need that reminder. I need the reminder because my inner critic is loud. And so I don't know. I think that finding the balance between contentment and productivity is overall like you have to remind yourself contentment is productive and it is getting me closer to my goals when I'm doing it intentionally, if that makes sense.
That's a word right there, just because it's you have that inner peace that way because
yes.
I am giving my body rest, and you have that community around you that supports you, that stabilizes you. You need both because you're not gonna have the energy to go.
Yes.
How you just said, eventually we all, no matter who you are, like the people that like, you're one of the people that I know that it operates at a crazy level. And even then it's like everybody is a human being at some point. At some point you need sleep. At some point you got to eat. At some point you have to just take a second and breathe, and it is productive. It's still good to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
And I think like it's tough because I feel like social media nowadays directly points out rest as laziness.
Yeah.
And so nobody is resting, nobody's taking care of themselves. Mental health has taken a huge decline. And I think that a large part of that is because we are not allowing our cup, like our internal cup of like who we are and what feeds our soul and what genuinely brings us joy. We're not letting that cup be filled at all because we're not making time for it because it's not productive, quote unquote. You know what I mean? And so we need to start looking at rest and those things that are soul giving as productive and they also ground me. They ground me in my goals. When I come back to my goals, I'm reminded and refreshed of why I want to do them in the first place. And I think we all need that reminder. It can be so easy to get lost in the sauce of a goal and be like, this is making me miserable. I want it so bad and it's not working. And what am I doing wrong? Take a step back, take a step away, do something for you, like not in a way like to push your career or to push a personal goal, but just for you as a human. Like you said, like we're all human. Like go get a coffee, go on a walk outside, go hit a workout, like do something for you that reminds you like you're doing, like it's a joy to be alive and you're doing these goals like to better your daily life, not to, drive yourself into a wall. So.
Okay, so that's so perfect because it's leading into the next thing that I want to talk to you about, and kind of what I want to cap off is your dance journey, because that's just speaking of like, again, something that is something that brings you joy, something for you. And this is how me and Taylor even met, is through like our shared dance studio. So can you tell us how you started that? What brought you to it? Why do you dance?
Yeah. So I danced. I had a little bit of experience growing up and gave it up. I think in hindsight, due to a lot of body standards at the time. I really struggled with my health in my youth. But there came a time, I think it was November 2024, maybe. So not too long ago, but I had been following this dance studio. It's called Area 54. And I'd been following them on TikTok for the longest time. And I had always wanted to do hip hop dance. I had always wanted to learn how to dance. And I had told myself, you're too old. You didn't grow up dancing. This is not in your wheelhouse. Where would you even do this? All of these things. And then all of a sudden one day, I don't know, I had been in Nashville for legitimately like 7 years before I realized that Area 54 was local to Nashville. And I said to myself, I looked them up online. I saw that they taught online classes. And so I was like, instead of going to just like straight out the gate, like an in-person class, I've never danced a day in my life. Like, why don't I try one at home? And like, if I don't like it, like that, that's fine. Like, I don't like it, but this is something I've always wanted to do. And I'm tired of telling myself that like, I'm too old or inexperienced to do something I want to do. And so one day I did an online class. I had the best time, like by myself, like in a yoga studio. It was the literal greatest. And then a couple months later, I think I built up the confidence to come in person. And God did that like truly change my life, like brought me to my community, brought me to a sense of joy that I had just never experienced before. But as for like why I dance, there are so many reasons. Like just to the basics, like to move my body, to find joy, to find community, to have fun. But I think like my biggest, like if we want to get deep with it, my biggest goals when it comes to dancing, I think first is to move my body in a way that is celebratory instead of from a place of criticism or from a place of punishment. I can get really lost in the gym culture of I'm working out to change my body, and dance has really brought me to this place where I am dancing to celebrate what my body can do and not punish it for what it can't, or for what to celebrate what it is and not punish it for what it is not. And so I think that's the biggest reason. And then secondly, I think I want to inspire people. Yeah. There are so many videos of me, I try to post all of the area combos, all the classes that I go to, and it is not because I get everyone perfect and nail every combo, because that is absolutely not the case.
But she nails a lot.
But I just want people to grow. Like I said, don't gatekeep your content. Like, I want people to watch me grow. I want them to see that, like, you are never too old, or too, I mean, I'm not all that old, but dance is started at such a young age. So I'm old for the dance world, but you're never too old or too inexperienced or, to whatever, to try something you want to do. And with mindset, you truly, anything you put your mind to, you can get better at, you can grow at. You might not be the best dancer in the world or in the room or whatever it is, but you will get better. And so I want people to see that mindset in me, and I want them to see the joy that I am having in the uncomfortable moments, in the growth, in the learning. And I don't know, I hope that just somebody out there sees that and takes it home and tries something they've always wanted to try, and then maybe feels like a more true and authentic version of themselves,
Yeah, that's so good. I think that shows in the videos. If you guys even just read the captions that she leaves on the videos, sometimes they're just fun captions, but sometimes she's putting the dance video up, and it's a fun, cool combo, and then she tries to like inspire you in the caption, if you just take time to read it, to encourage you to, if you don't want to dance, to do something with similar,
to step out of your comfort zone. Yeah. Chase joy. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's underrated. Not a lot of people are like, who was I talking to the other day? One of our mutual friends. And she was like, I'm really practicing sitting down and doing something for fun, because when I think about it, I haven't really sat down and just done something for fun in a really long time. And I thought to myself, like, how sad it is that that's the adult norm, to not ever have fun. Like, let's just go ahead and like excommunicate that from everything. Let's like, just because you're an adult, like that should mean you get to have more fun. Like you get to decide what you do with your time and your money, and like you have more freedom, and like, but you should it's not bad to chase fun. We all need a little fun. We all need to tap into that joy, and whether that's dance for you, or, makeup or music or podcasting or whatever it is, like, find what brings you joy. And I like truly try not to give a crap about what anybody else thinks about it, and just like let it fill your soul. Like,
yes. Where's the whimsy, you guys?
Yes.
Bring back whimsy.
Bring back whimsy.
Yes. Like, we can't be pop stars by night. Why not? Yeah. We can all be Hannah Montana if we really want to be. Yeah. Look at her.
Period.
Look at it.
LOL, the period came at the wrong time. I was supposed to say period. We can all be pop stars, and then it came, look at her, and then I was like, oh, that came across really confident.
Period. Period. Period.
I'm dead.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I just want to end this. Gosh, I wish I could have you on for like two more hours, but you'll be back. You'll be back.
I could literally stay here all day. This is so fun.
Yes, I want to have you here for like 2 more hours, but I don't want to keep you too long. So I just want to kind of cap this off with just like your motherly older sister, rich aunt advice that you would give to the people, just like general life advice. So like, I know that there's so many people, and it's kind of sometimes just the people that I want to reach is like people who are struggling with purpose in life, and also just motivation to maybe they're struggling with, I don't even know if I have a passion. What advice do you have for those people that are struggling right now?
Yeah. Okay. Well, first of all, I want to say I relate to you, and I truly get it. Second, I would probably say stop waiting for motivation, because motivation is overrated. Mm-hmm. Motivation is fleeting. It is a feeling. It comes with our mood, and it comes with our energy. But what really helps me is like when I think about my purpose in life, I don't define my purpose as my career or the things that I'm doing, but rather is I think of my purpose more so as who I am, as opposed to what I'm doing. And so what is the kind of person that you want to be? What kind of person do I want to be? I question that, and I think about it, and then I think, are these things that I am doing, like whether that be career, hobby, goal, business, whatever it is, are those reflecting the person that I want to be? And if the answer is yes, like I feel like that you know, like that fulfills that like almost like missing motivation or missing purpose. And I don't know, I think we take so many people are defining their identities or their purposes like these days as their careers or their political status or the things that they're accomplishing. And I think I want to challenge everyone to like really think about like your purpose and motivation more so about like who you are and like how you treat other people and the effect and the feeling that you want to leave any person that you come into contact with. Because at the end of the day, you don't get to take the job status with you and you don't get to take the successes with you. And those are amazing and celebrate those and be proud of those. But if you're struggling with motivation and purpose, my advice would be don't stop looking for it in titles, in titles of success, in titles of career, in titles of what the world is asking you to be, but instead question what kind of person do I want to be, and is that being reflected in the choices I'm making and in the activities that I'm participating in? And if the answer is yes, and you feel like you are being the most I guess the word is integrity, like the same version of yourself in any room that you walk into. If you feel like you're being true to that person and you're touching other people, I would say like, that's your purpose is like, you know, or at least that's what I feel my purpose is to touch the people around me through the lessons that I have learned in life and to take away and to learn from and grow from the people that I meet. And so I wouldn't say my purpose or motivation has anything to do with any of the goals or the job titles, which is kind of crazy. I would say it mainly rests in, I want to be the most compassionate, empathetic, considerate version of myself that I can be, the wisest, like truly know myself and then represent like, and truly show up as that for the people around me and in my life, stranger or not. So does that make sense? I feel like that was a little bit of a spiel, so I apologize.
No, it makes perfect sense. And again, I think that you've had this common theme throughout everything that you've been saying as well. And it's also all up to the individual, like even within like what you're saying. And so it's just like, as she's like, oh, I want to be the most compassionate, empathetic. You have to figure out what is your own life path, who it is that you're called to be. Like, so I think that makes perfect sense. You're just giving an example, like this is how I do it, but you ultimately, whoever's listening, you're going to have to define that for yourself. But she's just trying to give you a framework, but it's up to you.
Yeah.
And I also think I wanted to ask you this one last thing is like, how do people have the discipline to see those types of things through? It's like, I want to be this type of person, and even though it's not about the title, it's like the goals, it's like I want to accomplish, like how do you have the discipline to see all of that through?
Yeah. Okay, so have you seen this trend going on TikTok recently, the one where it's like do it tired, do it sad, do it anxious? That is my advice. I live by that. Like do it tired, just start and keep the promise to yourself, because at the end of the day, I just touched on a little bit, like motivation is fleeting. You cannot rely on a feeling. But I guess my biggest tip is really simple. Just do it. And I literally tell myself that sometimes, do it. Because usually that feeling is exactly the moment like I need to move and not stay stuck in my head and I need to take action. But discipline for me, like, isn't about being perfect or going 100% every day. It's about showing up anyway. It's about choosing to take action even when it's uncomfortable and even when it's messy, even when it's not my best. And I've learned that usually, like, so people think motivation is going to spark action. And I actually think it's the other way around. Action is going to spark your motivation. So like, no matter how unmotivated you feel, if you start the workout, you're going to get motivated to finish it. Like, but you just have to start. So like, I would say hold yourself accountable. A lot of people, I think I'm just I'm built different. Like I can keep myself accountable in a way that I think a lot of people struggle with. But if you have trouble keeping yourself accountable, like get you a workout buddy, get you a friend to go to dance with, get you, a lot of songs nowadays are not written by one person. Like sit down with somebody and write a song with somebody else. Like, but make sure that time is on your calendar and is marked off. And like, if you can't keep yourself to it, get somebody else who will. but just don't wait around relying on motivation. But the more you do it, the more you make yourself do it, no matter what mood you're in, no matter how tired you are, no matter how long your day at work is, you are daily teaching yourself, I can do it no matter what. And this is sustainable for me and my lifestyle. Like, and I know I can commit to it, and I know I can get it done no matter the circumstances of my day. And you are proving like to yourself, I can show up for myself no matter what. And the more you do it, like, you know, they say like discipline becomes habit. And it is true. Like, I don't even have to think about it anymore. Like, it used to feel like such a stress in my day to be like, how am I going to fit 6 gym sessions into a week? Like, I have no idea. And now I don't even think about it. Like, I wake up and now my routine is just, I'm at the gym and then I go to work. Like, and that has become like not overwhelming to me. That's just now my daily routine. So like, keep with it long enough to where it becomes habit. And I would say like maybe let that be your motivation, that the more that you do it when you don't feel like it, the easier it's going to get over time, you know?
Mm-hmm. You guys, I'm ready to hit 17 workouts. I'm going to 25 dance classes after that. I'm just kidding. But
she said, I will be up till 3 a.m.
working.
Catch me on Insta Live.
Working. I feel so motivated, even though it's not about the motivation. I'm so ready to go. Like, I'm ready to just show up on the consistent level, period.
Also, think about consistency. This really helps me. Consistency is not getting it 100% perfect every single day. Like, have you ever seen that visual of like, it pulls up a calendar and you know, like a green check mark is the days you worked out and the red X is the days you haven't worked out. And like one will be like, this is what people think consistency look like. And every day is a green check mark. But what consistency actually looks like, you know, like they show you the actual calendar where it has like red X's like here and there and it's kind of random and whatever. But if you're looking at the whole of the month, you were consistent this month. You have way more green check marks than you do red X's. So like, don't think about it as a like every day has to be perfect. If I miss one day, you know, everything's off, almost like 75 hard. Like, I've got to let it all go and start from scratch. That is not true. You are human. Life happens. Circumstances happen. But consistency is out of your month or out of your year. If you did that thing more than you didn't, or if you kept yourself to that goal like more times than you thought you could, that is being consistent. That is progress. Let yourself feel good about that. I think I'm really bad about, if it wasn't perfect, then it was a failure. Like, I'm really easy to get lost in that mindset. And so celebrate your small wins, please, because I have the hardest time doing that. But when I do, I feel so much better about myself because there are so many small wins in a day. I actually just started doing this. This is so random, but I just started doing this thing before bed where my normal nighttime routine would be right before I would go to sleep was to make a to-do list of the things that I wanted to do the next day, or like almost a priority list of like, how can I get everything done today? I got to start with this and then to do this and then do this. But recently I've been making what I'm calling to-do lists before bed of all the things I did accomplish that day. And like, even if you really break it down, like, and you put brush my teeth, wash the dishes, made a meal, like, and you even break up into a meal, like separate things. Like, I boiled the water for the pasta. I made the sauce. I cut up like, you would be shocked. Like, I literally am now falling asleep to like, I'm on like number 175 of things I've accomplished that day. And I think it's become such a healthier mindset because instead of being disappointed on the things I didn't get to, I'm like, I really did my best and I got a lot done. And it's okay to feel good about that because it's all going to get done eventually. I know myself, but let's celebrate the small wins, you know?
Amen and amen.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it's how it's about the commitment to being the person that you want to be. At the end of the day, it's like, I'm committed to being whatever. You talked about compassion, empathy, about being healthy. You're committed to that and you just consistently keep showing up and you're going to see the fruit of that.
Yes.
Regardless. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, you guys, Taylor's going to be back. I know we're back. Taylor will be back. I'm making her. I'm literally know where she lives. So I will be at her apartment regardless. Even if she says no, she's coming back on the podcast. So this was so great. I'm sure that after hearing this, everybody's like, where can I find more? And we're going to tell you. We're going to tell you.
We're going to tell you
where we can find more of Taylor. All of her socials will be linked below in the description, and basically all over my page. I'm her biggest fan, so you'll find it somewhere. But I I wanted to ask, like, are there things, I'm sure there's so many things, but just tell the people what we can be on the lookout for from you from all aspects.
Yes. Okay. So very exciting, but this is 2020. I have a lot of experience with other people releasing my music, and I think this is the year I really want to hone in and write an EP and release my own music with my own voice. So huge change of pace for me. So probably by the end of the year there will be at least a couple of songs hitting the platforms. I've also been working on a allergen-free healthy cookbook recipe. So, but all high protein, low calorie meals for my other girlies who have gut issues and cannot eat gluten, dairy, or soy. So I feel your pain. Just know I feel you on a spiritual level. Please come find me if you need me. And then, yeah, just like dance stuff. I'll probably continuously be posting that. And hopefully I'll have a couple of shows here coming up to play, and maybe you can come and hear some songs that I've written that you didn't know that I wrote. So yeah, but that's all the stuff we've got going on right now, as if we needed more.
In her casual spare 20 minutes she has in the day, she can do all of this.
We always say this to each other, but if we had a spare 30 hours in the week, we would be unstoppable.
Ruling the world.
Ruling.
Yes. So again, I'm so excited. You heard it here first about the EP, you guys. I'm so excited about the music, and also just there's so many things to be excited about. You guys can follow Taylor on Instagram, on TikTok. Again, these will all be linked in the description below and in all of the podcast episodes and podcast clips that we post of her. You guys, I genuinely feel revived and alive. I'm glad that you got to experience what I experienced, just being like in close proximity to this amazing woman. She's a superwoman. She's amazing. And so, Taylor, I just want to thank you so much for being my very first guest. I'm truly honored, very humbled to know you and just to have you on. Thank you so much for being here today.
Oh my gosh, it was literally my pleasure. I am just honored to have been asked. I'm honored to be the first guest. I just truly believe in what you're doing here and the messages that you're giving young women, and even just, the people in general right now. And so I just feel so honored to have been a part of it, and I hope to be back soon. This was so much fun, so let's definitely do it again.
You are. She is doing it. I'm telling you guys, she's being back. She's back. But you guys, I think that we've just kind of said it all, and so hopefully that something that we talked about today inspired you, it encouraged you in some type of way. And if it did, please leave a comment, please rate this show, please share this show with someone who you think might need it. I truly appreciate you guys so much, and thank you so much for tuning in today. But I think that's all that we have for now. So I will see you next time on When Are You Free? Bye.